Half a day, everyone, and welcome. And thank you for joining us today for this resolution presentation. We actually have two resolutions today to present to different parts of the court. And we're very, very happy to be joined today for resolution number 69-36 COR, introduced by myself and Senator Talina Cruz Nelson, Senator Amanda Shelton, and all other senators. And also resolution number 68-36 COR, introduced by myself, Senator Talina Cruz Nelson, and our legislative secretary, Senator Amanda Shelton. And so one is relative to recognizing the Judiciary of Guam's Adult and Juvenile Drug Court, the U.S. District Court of Guam's Drug Offender Reentry Program, and other therapeutic courts. The other is to recognizing April 26 to April 30 as Reentry Court Week. And so before I say anything more, I would like to thank and recognize our Chief Justice, Phil Carbolito. And I think we have the presiding judge here, but Chief Justice, thank you for joining us. And thank you to all the members of the Judiciary for joining us today. Chief Justice, I'm going to let you to please introduce members of your team.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I have present the presiding judge Alberto Lamarena. He is the founder of our treatment courts, and so he blazed the path for the establishment of our treatment courts. And so I'm very happy that he has joined us this afternoon. And we also have our administrator of the courts, Christina Baird, and our director of policy, planning, and community relations, Alicia Limtiaco, Attorney Alicia Limtiaco, who has coordinated these events, both of the executive branch and the legislative branch. We also have the representatives from our various divisions that we're recognizing that work with our drug courts and our reentry courts, and chief among them are our probation officers, our court program officers, and I think someone from our family counseling division. Unfortunately, I'm preparing for oral arguments tomorrow, and so I don't have a list of all those employees who are present. But if Alicia or someone else does have a list, and you're able to recognize the very important members of our team, I'd be very much honored if you could do that. But if not, Madam Speaker, our employees are all observing, and at this for this proclamation, I can speak on their behalf, and of course, I would welcome the presiding judge to join in and add any words that he may want to. But when you're ready, tell me which resolution you are going to first address, and then we can take it from there.
Chief Justice Carbolito, I may be able to introduce the members of the judiciary if you would like.
Yes, the speakers requested that we do that, and I would like for us to recognize our employees who work long and hard throughout the year. And so this small moment of shining with our legislative branch, I would like for us to recognize them.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you, Speaker Terlaje. We do have present with us Rosanna Villagomez-Uggan, Chief Probation Officer, Denise Mendiola, Probation Officer Supervisor, Rosanna O'Malley, Case Manager, Adult Reentry Court, Christina Tina Blas, PIO. We also have with us Tricia Suzuki, Deputy Chief Probation Officer, Sia Cruz, Adult Drug Court Coordinator, Doris Mofnas, Guam Family Recovery Program, Adult Drug Unit, Yvette Cruz, Program Coordinator, Court Programs Office, Grace Rosadino, Program Coordinator, Court Programs Office, Sonia Subirun, Program Coordinator, Court Programs Office, and if you could give me one moment, please. We also have Anthony Tovis, Juvenile Probation Office Supervisor. Angelica Bamba, Juvenile Drug Court Coordinator. And if I may also recognize, Your Honor, our two Guam Adult Reentry Court graduates, Ms. Leilani Simmons and Mr. Perry Seguenza. And I believe those are our Judiciary of Guam participants, and I do apologize in advance if I have inadvertently left anyone out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lumtiaco. And thank you very much, Chief Justice and Presiding Judge. I'm so glad to see you here today. And I'd like to also recognize my colleagues. I'm joined by the Legislative Secretary Amanda Shelton, Senator Shelton, also Senator Sabina Perez and Senator Chris Duenas. Thank you, colleagues, for being here. And so we will begin with resolution number 69. I'll read the title, and then if Senator Shelton could help me to read the resolution. Yes, okay, so resolution 69-36 COR relative to recognizing the Judiciary of Guam's Adult and Juvenile Drug Court, the U.S. District Court of Guam's Drug Offender Reentry DORE program, and other therapeutic courts for being the cornerstone of criminal justice reform, and commending them for their commitment to providing support services needed to address substance abuse on our island as they celebrate Drug Court Month during the month of May 2021.
Be it resolved by Iminay 36 na Legislatura ng Guahan, whereas the National Association of Drug Court Professionals annually celebrates National Drug Court Month in order to bring attention to and celebrate the successes of treatment courts, which work to break the cycle of addiction in families and reduce the number of rearrests and reincarcerations. And in May 2021 marks the 32nd year anniversary of treatment courts. And it is a time to reflect on this positive change brought to our island community by drug courts and their therapeutic courts. And treatment courts, which number more than 4,000 nationwide, are now recognized as the most successful justice system intervention in serving over 1.5 million individuals. And treatment courts significantly improve substance use disorder treatment outcomes and substantially reduce addiction and related crimes, and do so at less expense than any other criminal justice strategy. These courts also improve education, employment, housing, and financial stability, and promote family reunification, reduce foster care placements, and increase the rate of addicted mothers delivering babies who are fully drug-free. And the Superior Court of Guam established the first Guam Drug Court in 2002, pursuant to Public Law 26-125, and since that time, the adult and juvenile drug courts have graduated nearly 400 adults and over 100 juveniles, respectively, with hundreds enrolled in the program collectively. And treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnerships, bringing together public safety and public health professionals, and demonstrate that when one person rises out of substance use and crime, we all rise. And now, therefore, you're on mute, speaker.
That Iminay 36 na Legislatura ng Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, recognize the observance of Reentry Court Week from April 26 to April 30, 2021. I'm sorry, that's not right. My apologies. This be resolved that Iminay 36 na Legislatura ng Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, recognize the Judiciary of Guam's Adult and Juvenile Drug Courts, the U.S. District Court of Guam's Drug Offender Reentry Program, and other therapeutic courts for being the cornerstone of criminal justice reform, and commend them for their commitment to providing the support services that are needed to address substance abuse on our island as they celebrate the observance of Drug Court Month during the month of May 2021. And be it further resolved that the Speaker certify and the Legislative Secretary attest to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be thereafter transmitted to the Adult Drug Court and Juvenile Drug Court Judiciary of Guam team, to the Drug Offender Reentry Program, and to the Honorable Lourdes A. Leon Guerrero y Magahagan Guahan. And I wish we could do this in person, but I really do want to commend the staff and all those who have worked all year, and many of you, this is the career you have chosen, and I thank you for that. And thank you for all your work, and especially to the entire judiciary for standing up these programs, for proving them to be successes over the years, and for the changes that they have made in the lives of these people. So thank you again, and we want to help you to celebrate Drug Court Week. And
If I may, Madam
Yep.
Speaker, and if number one, would like to very much thank you. We appreciate the support of the legislature in recognizing this very important component of our justice system. As I mentioned, and as Senator Amanda Shelton read in the resolution, that the initial drug court was founded in 2002. And, you know, we have our founders still here with us. So we're very fortunate to have that. And so that means that we're celebrating the 32nd anniversary of the founding and establishment of our drug court. I think it's important to also point out that although we're here recognizing the adult and juvenile drug court, that the judiciary has 6 different treatment courts in addition to the 2 drug courts. We have our Veterans Treatment Court, our DWI Treatment Court, and soon to be recognized our Guam Adult Reentry Program and our Guam Family Recovery Program. And there was some information in reference to the impact that the drug courts have made, throughout the years. But in all, we've helped over 1,000 residents of Guam graduate from these various programs. And that means that they're now, instead of having a life of crime and broken families, we have helped them rehabilitate themselves because of the important component of drug court, that it's used for recovery and rehabilitation and not punishment. And they're now, we'd like to hope, contributing members of our society. The presiding judge recognized this very early on in his career. And so I want to take this occasion when we celebrate Drug Court Month, recognize the founder of this program. We all continue to benefit from his vision in reference to what has been established in our judiciary. I'm just a novice, and that happened to be in a position that can speak to these accomplishments. But the support of the legislature in recognizing the efforts of these people who are of our employees who are present here is very important to us. It lifts up our spirit that we are helping to contribute positively to our community. And we thank you for the recognition and taking the time to recognize our team. And PJ, if there is something that you'd like to add, I would ask that you do so at this time. And the proverbial phrase is that you're muted.
I know. Thank you very much for always telling me that. Thank you very much, Chief Justice Carbolito. That was a wonderful presentation and speech. I think you've covered everything, except I'd just like to make a couple of statements. I'd like to thank the speaker. She was the main sponsor of the creating by statute the Adult Reentry Court. Remember that, Madam Speaker? And I'd like to thank, the legislature for the fastidious support of treatment courts. And I know that the CJ is being very modest, but I'd like to thank him. I think without his support, the treatment courts won't be surviving in our judiciary. And I thank him for his much needed support. And he's always been there from the very beginning, supporting treatment courts. And without his support, treatment courts wouldn't have been a success at the judiciary. And I'd like to recognize there are three, I always call them the troika. When we first started treatment courts, I had three probation officers assigned to me. One is David Usan, who's not retired, and Ria Custodio and Tricia Suzuki. You remember Tricia, the old days? And we would meet with the other treatment providers, overseeing literally hundreds of drug court defendants going to the system. And I'm so happy, and I'm proud that there's been widespread acceptance and commitment from all our leaders and our community on the drug courts and the treatment courts in general. And thank you very much for the presentation and the recognition.
Thank you, Presiding Judge. I very much do remember helping to sponsor the reentry courts, and we're going to do that resolution right now. But really, the treatment courts overall, as the Chief Justice has said, I want to commend the judiciary for not just changing the lives of these people, but changing our minds over here at the legislature. I'm relatively new, but still, we needed to be convinced that these were effective, that they were, that the reform was true, and we have been convinced. And so I think that judiciary has done a great job thanks to its team. And what I always am impressed with is that the entire team, when you show me how it works, and I've been to the graduations, and it's very clear that it takes an entire team. It's like a wraparound service that is a great model, I think, for our entire government, how to really get the service to those who need it most, and to kind of let all of our resources focus on that and change lives. So I'm very grateful to you for your vision and your dedication and your advocacy to teach us and to continue to teach us as to all the reform that the judiciary is accomplished over the years and continues to address. And so now, just so we can formally recognize the Reentry Court week from April 26th to April 30, if I could call on our Legislative Secretary again, Senator Shelton.
Relative to recognizing the observance of Reentry Court Week from April 26th to April 30th, 2021, and commending those individuals that are re-entering society with the commitment to be positive and engaged citizens who make meaningful contributions to our island of Guam, be it resolved by Iminay 36 na Legislaturan Guahan, whereas re-entry refers to the transition of offenders from prison to community supervision, and the Second Chance Act, passed by the U.S. Congress and signed into law by President George W. Bush on April 9, 2008, aimed to enhance public safety by breaking the cycle of criminal recidivism and improving outcomes for people returning from prisons, jails, and juvenile facilities and re-entering society. And in 2015, the Judiciary of Guam received an award from the Bureau of Justice Assistance as a Second Chance Act demonstration grant to establish the Guam Adult Reentry Court in order to provide reentry services to individuals 18 years or older who are assessed as medium to high risk for recidivism using evidence-based tools. And in 2016, during the inaugural National Reentry Week, the U.S. Department of Justice sponsored various events that were designed to raise awareness of the importance of successful reentry. And in February 2018, Public Law 34-81 was passed by Iminay 34 na Legislaturan Guahan, allowing the Judiciary of Guam to establish the Guam Adult Reentry Court Program, and 2 months later, At the recommendation of the Judicial Council of Guam, the Supreme Court of Guam established the Guam Adult Reentry Court Program as a specialized treatment program within the Superior Court of Guam through Promulgation Order 18-003-01. And that same year, the Judiciary of Guam received funding through the U.S. Department of Justice for programs for adults with co-occurring substance abuse and mental illness, as many incarcerated persons with co-occurring substance abuse and mental illness re-entering the community face many challenges in obtaining adequate and effective services such as supervision, access to treatment, formal peer recovery support services, and access to wraparound services. And other challenges faced by incarcerated individuals re-entering society include, but are not limited to, the need for family support, transitional housing, government identification documentation, healthcare and health insurance, workforce development, employment, legal services, and transportation resources. And the Guam Adult Reentry Court continues to partner with various government, nonprofit, and private sector organizations, such as the Department of Corrections, New Beginnings, Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, the Department of Public Health and Social Services, the Guam Parole Board, the American Job Center, Department of Labor, the Guam Housing Corporation, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority, the Department of Revenue and Taxation, the Guam Community College, Lighthouse Recovery Center, Salvation Army, Togi Peer Support Services, and the Oasis Empowerment Center in the delivery of services to support individuals who volunteer and participate in the program. Now therefore be it
Resolved that Imina 36 na Legislature in Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, recognize the observance of Reentry Court Week from April 26 to April 30, 2021, and commend those individuals re-entering society with commitment to be positive and engaged citizens, to make meaningful contributions to our island of Guam. And of course, to commend those and all the partners and the court's employees and the court system itself who have brought this program to life, who bring the services to those in our community who need it. Again, Sidus Maasi from all of us here at the Judiciary, from all of us here at the Legislature, and thank you. And if I could, I'd just like to give a special round of applause to the Honorable Presiding Judge Lamarena for your years of work in these areas. Thank you. And of course, to all of you, partners of the Judiciary and those working at the Judiciary itself who bring these programs really into fruition. And really, we've heard testimony from those who've partaken of these programs that of the impacts that you have made. So I want to commend all of you. Thank you. Thank you to all of you.
And
Judge
Madam
Lam-
Speaker, if I may, thank you. Although April 26th through the 30th, in which we are proclaiming in terms of the Reentry Week program celebration has passed, we felt that it was very important because of the various schedules that everyone had, that we properly recognize the importance of our adult reentry program, court program. And so we thank you for understanding that, and for the record, giving us the support in reference again to this very important component of our justice system. I would like to add that we at the Judiciary, we continue to fully support the reentry process. We have the DOC partners, representatives, some of them that are here, and we understand the importance of collaborating with government and the private stakeholders so that we may help those reentering rebuild their lives as they transition back into society and have the resources and support they need to be successful. Senator Shelton very capably listed, those areas in which we can help, and the reentry court program touches upon those various components in order to assist these individuals who are, because of their circumstance, being incarcerated for a long period of time, have been out of touch with these various segments in the community, including education, the workforce development, job placement, healthcare, housing, legal services, as Senator Shelton has enumerated. And so it operates as a very important hub to reintegrate these individuals back into society. It's, and you know, again, it was the brain storm of our presiding judge, him being at the front lines as in his capacity as the presiding judge and as a trial judge in our court system. It's an extremely important program for those who are now asking for a second chance to reintegrate to society and to hopefully do that successfully. And these programs greatly assist and give them a chance to succeed in being contributing members of our community. And we want to give them a second chance. And this program greatly assists in their hopefully being successful. And, you know, we are all cheering for them. And thank you for the recognition and the support of this program, Madam Speaker and members of the legislature. We, for the record, very much appreciate that support. Thank you. And again, presiding, if you have any comments, please do.
Okay, well said, Chief Justice. I'd just like to make one comment. I remember one lawyer telling me in court to his client that if the presiding judge knows your first name, you've been in his courtroom too many times. So I think what we have tried to do is address the recidivism rate and the revolving door syndrome that DOC had been seeing. In fact, the high recidivism rate at the Department of Corrections of people coming back was very, very high. I think it was like 60%. They would be back within 3 or 4 years. And so hopefully the Adult Reentry Court program addresses that issue. I still remember in one of our stakeholders meetings, I think John Gilliam was present, and we're talking about how do we do the first step in getting these people back into our community. And John Gilliam said, well, I'll do the first step. I will give free birth certificates to all the people that have been admitted to the program. And really, that was indeed a first step, because once you get that birth certificate, you can get an ID. And once you get an ID, you can apply for all the services, wraparound services, like the speaker just said, and also do the treatment programs, et cetera. So, so I'd like again to thank the community and all the treatment providers. This is one of the first courts we have where the parole board and the DOC pull all the strings. They're the ones that make recommendations to the Reentry Court who will be admitting to the program. And then we just follow the recommendations and to make sure they follow the treatment that is required of them. So again, thank you very much for the recognition, Madam Speaker, and the Guam Legislature. And thank you very much, Chief Justice Carbolito, for your ongoing support of our treatment programs.
Thank you, Presiding Judge and Chief Justice. I would like to just ask my colleagues, we've got 2 other colleagues here, Senator Duenas and Senator Perez, if they would like to just make some very brief remarks. Senator Perez?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, I'm here to show my appreciation and thanks for all that you do to help rehabilitate our people. And as a policy, I highly support this. And I know you guys are doing the heavy lifting, but we're here to support you as well. So if there's anything that we can do on our end as far as laws are concerned, appropriations, of course, funding. So please reach out to us. And yeah, we want to support those that are supporting our community. So thank you, and Suzuas Masi.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Duenas?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, Chief Justice, presiding, and all the court family, as well as other participants, DOC, I can see some members here, as well as Guam Housing, and just really the array of partnerships. Just bear with me, this is going to be really quick, Madam Speaker. I want to share a story. First of all, when I first came into the Department of Youth Affairs, my first entry into government, the establishment was then made for the Juvenile Drug Court. And what an amazing program over the years that I saw that blossom into. I can attest to not only the judges' involvement and how they mete out justice with regard to participants and clients, but sometimes even how tender they are with directors. There was a time when our kids participated in putting together a float for the Liberation Day. And I had a couple of clients who were in juvenile drug court that I thought really deserved a reward to be on that float. And Monday morning, I got a call, and I won't say which judge, but he said to me, "Sir, Chris, what did you do over the weekend?" And I said, "Your Honor, I just thought those kids really deserved, to be rewarded for their efforts." And he was very kind and said, "Never let it happen again, but good job." So it's just an attestament, for really how involved the judges, the court staff, everyone who really works hard to provide, our youth and our adults on reentry and all of the programs that the courts do. They do an excellent job, and they really do change lives. And so I just wanted to share that story and thank that judge for being so forgiving to me and not dragging me into his courtroom. Jesus Masi, Madam Speaker, and congratulations once again to the courts and all the partners that make it happen.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, the judges are paying close attention, right? Senator Shelton?
Oh, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you to everyone at the Judiciary and all the partner organizations and agencies for all the work that you do, not just throughout this week, and throughout Law Week, but throughout the entire year, and for all of your service to our community. It's so vital to us here, and as all of my colleagues have said, we're here to support you and do what we can to be good partners to you as well. Congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Senator. Again, as we move forward, bear in mind, when we have hearings and we're talking about a lot of bills get introduced to change penalties or sentencing rather, and I always, at least for me, I always remember, the treatment courts and their effectiveness and how that has been like the reform theme. And so that when we can do that, of course, we would like to see success in that. So we do want to support you, and I thank you for also being active when we have those types of hearings to tell us, not to go backwards, but to go forward in how we're going to treat the people of Guam, and how we're going to recover them, and how we're going to, allow them and empower all of them to move forward as a community. So Jesus Masi, again, Chief Justice Jesus Masi, Presiding Judge, thank you again. And to all of you very instrumental in the programs and partners, Jesus Masi, thank you. And
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Oh, happy Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Happy
That's
Mother's Day.
a good
Yeah, happy
reminder.
Mother's Day.
Yes. Thank you. All right, that will conclude our program for today. Take care. Be safe, everyone.